Welcome to the Film Garage 208 podcast. My name is Sarah, and this is Daniel.
Hello.
Hello. Today we have with us Cole and Giovi. Cole is a singer-songwriter, and Giovi is a music producer.
All right.
Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess tell us just more about yourselves.
Yeah, so I live, I'm a local artist out
Okay.
from Shelley, Idaho right now.
Shelley, Idaho.
I actually moved to Nashville like next week,
Oh, wow.
which is crazy.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Oh, okay, so you're
Yeah.
just a young boy.
Yeah, be 19 pretty soon. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm an artist. I make music.
Yeah.
I make a lot of music. I work with a company out there in Nashville, so that's why I'll be moving out there. They're called Songhouse.
Cool.
We do a lot of cool stuff. They're on Instagram.
Yeah.
So
Spotify,
is that
everything.
like a label or?
Yeah, yes and no.
Yeah.
They're more of like I would say a social media group, but they're also kind of a label too.
Gotcha.
We do this thing where we post we do 30-minute writes, and then we get all together, we record them, and then
Cool.
whichever one goes viral, that's the ones
Is
that
it
they
virtual
release.
that you guys all do that? Like,
No, we
not
do it in
person?
one space.
Oh.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
Oh, where is that meetup?
So it's actually the apartment that I'm moving into.
Oh.
We call it the Loft, and that's where we do that at.
Oh, in
they're-
Nashville.
they're
In
like
Nashville,
recruiting-
yeah, in
I'm like,
Nashville.
that's not here.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So they like recruit you guys to stay there. So they're paying for your housing.
Yeah. So I actually, the first time I got in was they do camps now,
Okay.
writing camps.
Cool.
And I went to the very first one, and then since then I've just been working with them more and more.
Yeah.
So
And is
That's
that
really
something
cool.
you paid them to be a part of?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a paid camp. Yeah.
And then like you going to Nashville to live in this house now to do this, like, is that something you pay to be a part of too?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I'm renting.
I'm just really curious
Yeah.
about
So,
that as a
okay,
business. It's an
we-
interesting
It is, yeah.
Well, we
thing to be a
also-
part of.
It is
We-
very much.
We
yeah.
just watched that show. Have you seen the
7M.
7M dance
haven't,
cult? You haven't?
No, I
It's
haven't.
like really similar to what you're
Literally
describing.
what you were
really?
just saying. Everything is the 7M
Except,
dance
like,
cult.
really- like there's a lot of weird culty stuff.
See, I said
But
something
basically, it was like a guy that
There's
has the money.
I don't mean to interrupt
Yeah,
right
no,
now,
no.
but
You're good.
you should watch that.
No,
Definitely will.
they're great people over there.
They are
That's
great.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, it
Definitely
totally
not
makes
cool.
sense to be like a part of that and work together because
Yeah.
you're just gonna be able to make more stuff faster. And
Yeah,
Test
gain
things more.
connections and
Yeah.
it's a great space. I love it there, and
Yeah, that's super cool.
It's awesome.
And from that first songwriting camp, you kind of, one of your videos went viral.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So we did a video, and I mean, Songhouse is they're bigger, so they have videos do 8-12 million on Instagram, that kind of stuff.
Just being affiliated with them and all that.
Yeah, so, but I was at the camp and we did some writes. We did a lot of writes, actually. It was a full week. And then we wrote the song called Adderall, and that got posted on their account. And I think it hit around 330,000 views.
Wow. A whole song
so
or
I-
just a little 30 seconds?
Yeah, it's just a hook and a
Okay.
verse usually.
Yeah.
Which was crazy for me because before I was getting, maybe 1,000 views on my posts and that kind of stuff. And then to go and get that amount
Was
of
that on
numbers.
your personal page that it blew
No,
up?
so it was on their page.
Got it, okay.
But I was,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
in
you.
it, tagged, and
Yeah.
yeah. And then we released it. Man, March,
March,
yeah.
Okay.
A bit ago now, and we just hit 80,000 streams the other day.
Nice,
which is
on the
crazy.
actual whole song?
On the song, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks,
So when you
yeah.
say we, did you make the beat?
No, I didn't. I wasn't a part
Yeah.
of this one, but
Gotcha.
I'm very supportive of everything he does. So.
He's my main producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little side project, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was awesome. It's definitely started to build
Kinda
my
put you on the
career.
map.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess, okay, I want to ask more into that, but Giovi,
Yeah.
tell me
Yeah, let's
about
get
you.
into Giovi. I was gonna say.
Yeah, my name is Giovi Castillo. I'm a music producer, sound engineer, live sound engineer, studio owner. Sometimes I make my own music when I'm not doing all this.
When you have the free time.
Yeah, and so I've been working with Cole for almost 2 years now, maybe a year and a half. I'm affiliated and really involved with the company called The Heart in Idaho Falls, which is
Okay.
a venue and as well as creative space. And we have
Venue.
Yeah, it's a venue over down by Fred Meyer on Northgate Mile, and we've been open for 4 years now. We do
okay.
live. We focus on local music, And I joined the company in 2021, and now I'm the main sound engineer there, as well as like the music producer, kind of mostly affiliated
So
with
it's
them.
only 4 years old?
Yeah, only 4
Oh,
years
wow.
old.
Okay, that's probably why I haven't heard about it too.
Is that place strictly a venue for events?
I mean, we have the ability to rent out for like private parties, birthday parties, all that stuff. But we also do we put on mostly concerts and parties and stuff like that. It's like
It's not open day to day though. Like,
no, not open day.
Not a walk-in type thing.
Yeah, it's pretty small. We can fit like 200, 250 people in there.
It's not small. It's a lot of people.
Yeah,
it is.
It's
I guess small for a concert.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's my main
Yeah.
venue, and I'd call it like my parent company because that's where I started. The Heart's all about community and collaboration and helping grow the community. And so we focus really on local music and local artists. And so Cole, like the first place he performed was there, and like that's kind of where he started, was with actually a different producer that I ended up kind of taking over for because he ended up moving. He was
At that location?
Yeah, at the Heart. And so I ended up kind of starting my business because I was involved. I was an intern, and then he ended up moving, and I was leaving. I was ending high school right then, and I was like, okay. And
Perfect
I just took
timing.
over. And so, I've been doing that and opened my studio in 2022, in September of
Nice.
2022.
That's an awesome job to like slide right into right out of school.
Yeah, I was really
Kind
lucky.
of skip some steps of like paying for college there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So I've been working with Cole since then.
Yeah.
We've been working on a lot of songs, and
Okay.
A lot of songs.
So when did you, Cole, start making songs and doing things? Because
Ooh, that's when I was about like, I want to say like 12, like middle school.
oh wow, you were into music.
Yeah, that's when I usually that's when I actually like really got into it. Just started like I'd taken piano lessons a little bit when I was like little, but yeah, I just kind of.
How did you find out you could sing?
that I could sing?
Yeah, that's an important thing.
I
is to have
actually
that
didn't.
ability.
That's
You
the
just
crazy
singing
thing.
one day and just like, oh hey, it's actually not that bad.
That's the crazy thing is I could not sing to save my life. Like, I mean, I definitely had qualities. I feel like that like a singer has.
Okay.
Like you could sing a church hymn.
Yeah, and hold the tune.
You have
but
the
it
ideas
wasn't
there.
like
Yeah.
it was a lot of work. I started like mostly piano, and then I got a little bit into producing too.
Okay.
And then I was like, I want to write my own music, so started doing that. And I was like, if I'm gonna write, I need to sing.
Yeah.
So just started on that, and it was rough. I mean, starting to sing is like, it's rough.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's a muscle. So just work at it, and
really?
eventually get to.
I
Yeah,
find that
I
so
feel
hard
like
to
I always hear
believe.
people say that, and I feel like I don't believe it.
I think it's true. Seeing
think
as
it's true?
as a producer, seeing him.
I don't know if he could sing. I'm sorry.
It's true. No, I agree.
I don't know if that
definitely-
muscle could
yeah.
get there.
I really don't know.
I definitely think there's like there's the base
There's
level
some-
of
yeah,
like
okay,
talent.
I
I
would say,
think natural
yeah.
talent.
You need to have the
There's
some-
stepping
there's some
stones there.
There's some stuff where some people are just truly like tone deaf and don't have any ability, which sucks.
It's like the ears kind of more
It's
so?
like a whole interactive system between your body, like your like vocal cords and your ears combining together to be able to understand how to do that. And some people just don't have that at all, which is it's just sad, and it's hard to explain to people. But
Yeah.
there's also people that
Give up. there's no
No.
hope.
and then there's
Yeah.
people where I think Cole definitely had some natural talents for music, and not necessarily like singing per se, but for music
The
for
whole
sure. Yeah,
around
and
it.
so he, over the past 2 years, I've seen him grow tremendously especially in his vocal range, and like how he's able to control his voice and how much work he's put into it is absolutely like he's worked for what he has.
Yeah.
And so I mean, he started taking vocal lessons like a year ago, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd taken them before a little bit, but like seriously, very seriously. It was actually because I'd gone to Songhouse, and then I was just a part of like a Discord kind of group with them, and there's just a section to send in songs because the guy who runs it, Tyler Ward, is pretty successful. He got big on YouTube and then started doing his own stuff, but he's a pretty successful singer.
Yeah.
And songwriter. So he just like would review our songs and send it back to us and say, hey, do this and this and this.
Yeah.
And he was like, on mine, he was like, dude, you just need voice lessons. Just get in, get the work done, like get voice lessons.
But that's good though that there's someone who can tell you
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
and,
which is awesome.
That's
yeah.
important.
Yeah. So I mean, I took that and
Yeah.
I hit somebody up actually from Songhouse, and I was like, hey, can you do voice lessons? Because she's got a degree and everything. And so we just worked and worked and
You
worked.
do it virtually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So at this point in your career, have you been able to make a business out of this, or are you at the point where you're still trying to like?
It's still
Make that.
building.
I mean, as always.
Yeah.
But
I mean, dude, it's rough. The streaming like revenue is not a lot. Like you can get. It's nothing.
so is the goal to make your money from like endorsement deals and stuff like that over time, like the long run?
Eventually, yes. I think my goal right now, especially with the opportunities that I have and the company that I have an in with, is to just go and write on as many songs as possible, because they pay their
I think that's a
writers
great idea.
pretty fairly.
Yeah.
So their whole thing is, if you just write on enough songs that get posted and go viral,
Yeah.
then you eventually will build some kind of paycheck.
Totally.
Gotcha.
And I think, I mean,
Yeah.
always there's merch and that kind of stuff and
Personal brand type thing.
personal brand and
Sure.
going into that. And I'll definitely be looking into that in the future. But I'm also a producer, so
Good.
I've kind of been looking into that as well as some kind of business with them.
Yeah,
So it's like
that's a
having all
great
the other
idea.
skills of being able to actually sing and play the instruments and understand that, just
Yeah.
like go hand in hand, like a writer acting in their own
Yeah.
sitcom they wrote or something.
Yeah,
like.
definitely.
Yeah, no,
definitely.
that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's the long run goal then for Nashville? Or like the
Yeah.
next
Just make
couple
music
years?
my job.
Yeah.
You know, do whatever.
Is that how it'll be when you're in Songhouse, like
No.
there? So you'll have to work and then also do this too. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a part-time kind of thing.
But at least you'll have such a focused part time of the
Yes,
music,
yeah.
not like you're just coming home and having to motivate yourself. Like
Right
you're-
now, because I'll like fly
Yeah.
out there, do a video, come back, and then I'm like, okay, I'm in Idaho working, like doing all this stuff, and there's all this going on. It's
like a whole nother
Tennessee.
world.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just so it'll be nice to be in that other world and be able to just focus on it as much as possible.
right?
Totally.
Probably grow so much faster.
Just
build those relationships
it'll be
faster.
awesome.
The
It'll be
relationships
awesome.
will be really huge.
Jovi, he'd definitely be coming down and visiting.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, help him. Yeah. Build some
How-
relationships with him.
Yeah, kind of on that with collaborations. Have you guys like been able to help boost each other up a little bit? Have you gotten him any jobs or?
Of course, yeah. I think, building a strong clientele base is really important as a producer who's like started their own studio, and making good connections with the clients is always really important. And so, I mean, like his family invited me to dinner, like, so, we're on a really close and personal basis. And I've seen him grow up since the time, I don't know, like
Yeah,
16,
since I was like
17.
Did you guys go to school together?
No. I'm from here. I'm from Idaho Falls. I went to Skyline. I mean, I talk like we have such a big age difference. I'm 20, so I mean,
You're only 2 years apart.
it's
This kid over here.
yeah, this kid. Over here. But it's been really cool to like, as you like what you asked. Has he helped me in any way? Yeah, for sure. He's gotten me. I think you've sent me a couple different people that have come in and done a couple random little things.
Yeah.
As well as just like.
And I think a big thing with helping each other is just how much we've both improved since we've started working
100%.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a partnership, but like mentorship with each other. It's
Yeah.
like learning
Yeah.
with each other.
To watch, like, if you go back and like listen to my old stuff that I produced myself and that kind of stuff, and just to hear the difference between what we are making now and to see the growth between both of us is it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And like he's mentioned a couple times, he's a very unique client in the fact that he's a producer himself, and that's kind of where
True.
his roots started. But he's actually my favorite type of client because he comes to me with like demos basically.
Yeah.
And so he had, it's awesome to have a client that is making music all the time, and it's not just saved for the studio. It puts a lot less pressure on me, I think, because
Totally.
he understands how the process works. But he comes to me, once a week, every 2 weeks or whatever, and he brings the best demos from that week, and then we work on them.
Yeah.
And so he always
Cool.
most of the time he comes with an idea, which is really refreshing, honestly.
huge.
And so
In the
It's
creative
huge.
world,
It's
that's
Some
important.
direction.
You
Yeah.
need to like give me
Even if
somewhere to
it's-
start.
even if it's just a simple guitar
Yeah.
loop or whatever, like it's something to work off, and,
Yeah.
and then I
Yeah.
can build off his ideas, and that's really, really great. And because he's a producer, because he's produced for 5 years or whatever, he's, you know, got so many ideas that he can help me with, and then I can kind of build upon them and add everything else. And so it's really great. A great relationship, honestly.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So do you play instruments yourself?
Yeah, of course. I
Yeah.
started,
It's way better than me.
and it's funny because I don't think I'm that good, but I started I started producing when I was 13 years old. I started
wow.
learning how to make beats and that stuff. I started taking piano when I was 7 years old.
I'm sorry, I just have to pivot off of this.
No, you're good.
The generation, we're 10 years older than you. And so all of this technology was just like starting like my senior year of high school, like GarageBand on a Mac, you know?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, man, what a life you could have had if you could have just started like
Yeah.
at 12. Like, man,
Yeah,
life would be so different.
We're very lucky.
It's so nice.
It's funny because I say that about the generation younger than me.
Than us.
Because I'm
It's
like, these kids I see these kids on social media, they're like 14, and I'm like,
have
what
you seen
are
the kid
you
that's
doing?
7?
Literally.
Have you seen that
yeah,
7-year-old
Miles
kid?
makes, what's his name? Miles makes music or
Oh,
Miles
you guys should
That
go
kid
look
is
him.
insane.
That
You've
kid is
seen him?
insane.
He's crazy.
He just like hears it and just
He's so
that's
much better
so
than me.
insane.
It's insane.
Yeah, and so exactly. I
Yeah,
think
so,
it's
so I had to cut off because I'm
No,
like,
you're good.
this timeline is insane.
I think it's always gonna be like that because
It is.
Dang,
It
but
is.
yeah,
I think it's cool though.
It's amazing.
It's cool. It's
so
really
cool.
cool. Yeah.
It's cool if you can like find it inspiring and not like intimidating.
Oh, for
And
sure.
it's
Not be
cool
jealous.
that our generations are like building this kind of precedent because especially music used to be like very,
was
if you're not
unattainable.
in a big studio, then you're not making music.
Yeah.
That's what it used to be. And now I can make a whole song in
Right.
my room.
Get
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
song to go viral and like you're
And so for
And
us
then
to
the
be
social
building that
media
precedent that
changing.
it's like you can be a bedroom producer or you can be a bedroom artist, and then the next generation will just take that even further.
yeah.
Which is
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
I mean, I was making beats in class for
Yeah.
however many years. 'cause
Yeah, I've done that.
it was just like that's what I wanted to do. I was definitely on the track to go to college and do all that stuff and really do whatever I wanted. But COVID happened when I was 15, 16, somewhere in there. And yeah, I was turning 16. So
So you're like a sophomore in high school?
yeah, I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
I think I had just turned 16, and I was like, okay, I really, there's just so much time. I was
Yeah.
indoors for
Yeah.
however long, and I was like, okay.
And then at your age, nonetheless, like it's
Exactly.
like you got time to think about what you're doing.
And I
here.
was like, I know
Yeah.
I wanted to be taken seriously because I'd been doing music since, for whatever, 3-4 years. And, people don't, there's a connotation behind being behind doing music in high school as being the, you're the kid.
You're that kid.
You're that
Yeah.
kid that does
Really?
music. Yeah.
Oh,
Those are
yeah.
the current stigmas, the high school stigmas.
Yeah, for sure.
Not the anime kid or something.
There's all that still, but there's there's still that, but there's
But we've added the music
it's
guy.
the SoundCloud rapper kid.
Sound-
you know?
Yeah,
rapper.
the SoundCloud rapper
And so you've got to.
I'm sure there's so
I'm
many
fine
people
with
who say
that.
they can and
I just didn't like
Actually,
the
so-
guitar
kid.
kids.
Yeah.
I walked around with the
Yeah.
guitar. I was like, stop. Is that you?
No,
No.
that's my co-producer.
he's like hiding his guitar behind the
Yeah, he brought it with him.
right now.
But yeah, I was trying to. I want to make sure that I wasn't gonna have that stigma on me.
Yeah.
And so I took it very seriously, and I had been working, the summers like doing yard work and mowing lawns for a long time, and so I took all that money and I just put it all into music, and I just spent like 12 hours every day learning how to make music pretty much for all of COVID. Like
That's awesome.
all I did was, I'd wake up and sit in an online class half asleep or whatever. And then right after that, work on music, go outside, ride my bike or something, come back, go to sleep, work on music, whatever.
Yeah.
It was
Well, that's cool though.
It was a cycle. And
Yeah.
it was definitely really important for me because it was like a huge era of growth for me to be able to just
Yeah.
my personality, my mental health, and then of course my music as well. And so it was really, really important that I did that. But when I was 16, that's when I said, okay, I'm doing this, and I'm going to do this no matter what anybody tells me. And so I dropped out of all my AP classes pretty much.
Wow.
I took every single band class that I could.
Cool.
And so I was in band like 6 hours every single day
Yeah.
for my senior year, literally just like
Yeah.
all day. And I just learned as much music as I could and made as many connections as I could. And basically, I just said, like, I want to be taken serious.
Yeah.
I didn't, I wanted my mom to support my decision. I didn't want to go to college. And so I knew that I had to be serious about it.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And I found the heart, and I started interning there and started doing all the live music and started mixing all the shows.
Yeah.
And then the opportunity with the studio arose, and I was able to take that up. And, basically, there's still a stigma around being a musician or a music producer, I think.
Oh, definitely.
And so I introduce myself. Yeah. I say I'm a studio owner or I'm a business owner. To people that I don't want to have a deep interaction with, of course, that's kind of, I'm like, yeah, I own a business.
Yeah.
It's just because if I say, I'm a music producer.
I'm a producer.
It's like, oh, how's your little music thing going? And I'm
yeah.
I think it's like times are changing again also with with us, the generation above us. It was like you go to college, you do this and that. You like the creative professions, like what we kind of do with photo and video. Like that was like, it's like your little job, like your little project,
Yeah.
And so it's like, these are like the actual big jobs now. Like these are important things. Like you have music on every like,
especially now with social media.
Yeah,
so
like
big.
this is actually the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So it's like just being on the right side of the curve at the right time. It's like we're the winners here.
Yeah. It's just like a really easy to judge a creative type job if you're not doing it. It's easy to be just to look at it as kind of like a joke but when you're actually in it and thinking about it and trying to constantly come up with things to impress people, it's like really hard.
Yeah. And I can like, and I just want to tell people, I'm like, I promise I understand that this is like probably the worst route. Not the worst route in like,
it's the hardest.
It's the hardest route to make it. And it's the hardest route to make money with.
It's something that forces you to learn a lot about yourself too. It's not a job that you could just go in every day and like monotonous, do the work, like zone out. You really have to like be honest with yourself because you're just like in your head so much.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom's like, she's consistently, it's not like she doesn't support me. She supports me 100%, but she's always like, what if you go to school for business? What if you go to school for this?
Yeah.
And it's not like those are bad ideas or anything, but I'm like, I'm putting in the work right now. I know she's like, you have to work 80 hours to make whatever someone else is making in 20 hours, 40 hours. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I wake up every single day and I'm happy. And
it's something that I actually want to be doing.
And I don't complain about I work long hours, but that's because I'm happy and I don't know what else I would be doing. Like, I don't really want to go home and watch TV for whatever, 5 hours. I'm good to just keep working until I have to go to bed. And that's good for me. Like, at least where I'm at in my life right now, that's what makes me happy.
For
and
sure.
It's, definitely hard to explain those things to people sometimes, but I have to believe in myself and know
well, it's like it's your life, so you do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Like that's just it. Like,
and at the end of the day, I have so much time, and so do you. Like, I have so much time left that if I need to pivot careers at some point, like I can.
Yeah.
Literally, we say that every day. We're always like, if this fails,
I know people always said that, but
we're fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least I tried. Like that's it. Like I don't think I'd be happy without trying, and so
totally.
I'm 20 years old. I've got a lot of time left. So
yeah, but I think it sounds great, the steps that you're taking, and it's a good way because I always talked. We worked in management for a while, and all of our associates were like high schoolers. So I feel like I would do a lot of like pep talks to these high schoolers, and I'm like, it's okay. You don't have to go to college.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you want to go to college, you can.
Yeah.
I'm like, but if you're like not sure what you're gonna do, you're just wasting your money. Like you're just gonna be in college debt. Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's not the worst thing in the world to just take a step back and just look.
No.
Yeah, just think for a second because you're still like 18 years old. You got. I mean, that's the crazy part is like you did high school and that's not even like a quarter of your life. You got so much life left to live.
But also,
Especially,
I think like this area, it's a little different, as we know.
Oh yes, oh yes.
And so, like when we were living in Hawaii for the last like
That's
5-6 years, like we are upper 20s, and then we have coworkers who are like same age range, but like 30s or so. Everyone still lives at home. Everyone's still like they thought we were crazy for being married.
Yeah.
Or like even like thinking of having it. They were like, "What? You're a kid." Like, "No, you were not doing that." And it's just like it just depends on where you are.
Yeah.
Of like what timeline you are on
sure.
and how behind you are.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I feel so weird seeing all these kids I know getting married like now.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that's crazy.
Kids who just graduated from my class, I've seen engagement photos, and I'm like, dude, what are you
didn't
doing?
worry at all. It's not even the end of summer yet.
I'm like, chill. It's all right.
That's so funny. Okay, so how do you guys, you kind of mentioned social media a little bit, but how do you leverage social media for like your fans or your customers or your...
I mean, for me, social media has kind of built the career that I have, the small career that I have right now. Just in the sense that it's like my first song to really gain attention outside of my local community.
Right.
Which is Adderall.
Yeah. So I just think social media right now, especially in this time, is like, if you want to do music, you have to do social media, in my opinion.
Totally.
And there's other ways to do it, but just with, I mean, especially my generation, how involved our lives are with our social media, it's a necessity to learn and to grow on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you talk a lot, or do you show your face? Or
Yeah.
who manages
Are you one of
your
those
stuff?
types? Do you like do lives?
Myself, and I need to do better. That's the thing. Is a lot of this has happened so recently that I'm kind of on the catch up game right now.
I see.
And most of it's just been us making music, and I've just been trying to output.
Does this place that you're going to Nashville, what was it,
Songhouse?
Songhouse, do they have like partnerships with photographers or video guys that can
my friend Justin Freck out there, actually, he does all the video and stuff. Well, most of the video. They have other people who come in and out, and but I think he just did a video with Jelly Roll like not that long ago. I think he's like his main videographer now, which is crazy. So they've got some pretty big connections out there, which is awesome.
Good.
It's a great place to be with all those people. So
Will you have access to those clips to be able to post on like your own social media, or does it have to all stay on theirs?
It depends.
Yeah.
It is their content. I mean, I'm going there
that's
to
like
work.
The technicality.
Yeah, it is their content. For the
either
most
way,
part.
it's like, if it goes viral,
then I go viral. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's still worth it.
I see.
And they're very careful. I mean, we got contracts and stuff, but it's very like, I would say it's a pretty generous contract for what it is. I mean, they're business.
So what does a day look like for you there? Like, do you just wake up and is there like a schedule? Like, do you know what life's like?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be working. I'll be working.
You really need to watch the 7am documentary.
No, you
it's
keep
on
saying
Netflix.
things that I'm like, oh no.
You'll see why.
Yeah, I mean,
be careful.
I'll be working.
We'll come get you
need
if you.
to go watch
Don't worry,
this video.
I got him. I'll make sure he's okay.
But yeah, no, most of my days will be working and just making music on my own time. And they're very like, I mean, the contracts are for the particular songs. So I'm not like signed to them as a label.
Oh.
And that's why I don't like to say they're a label, because they're back and forth.
They're kind of like a production house.
Like a
They're more of a production,
In my head.
creative group.
I see.
Is them taking credit for all of the rights to that stuff because like they're fronting money for like the photographer and stuff like that, or?
So I wouldn't say they're taking credit. They're actually very good about crediting their writers and their artists. I would say it's more...
They've built a brand, I feel like.
Yeah.
And so the people are going to
I need to look
Songhouse
them up.
for, like, they have like 1 million monthly listeners. And so people are going to Songhouse
Gotcha.
to kind of, like, they're helping people grow, and they take those people and kind of, if you know, I guess like you said, like the idea is if the clip goes viral, the song gets released. And so they do lots and lots of people, lots of different clips. And so, you know, they work with a lot of people, and they have, I think what you said is true probably about them fronting for the photographers and the producers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand like their business and how that would work.
It's a very interesting business too. Oh, dude, trust me. The first, like, when I went to the camp, my mom was like, "Are you sure? Like, who are these people?" I was like, "They seem great."
Yeah, because so you just found him on social media, and you're like, I'm going to go do that.
So my mom found him first and then
that.
showed him to me, actually.
Oh, really?
So, and then they had applications for the camp, so I just applied, you know, kind of like, I'll just apply, see where it goes. And then they accepted it, and I was like, holy shit.
Interesting. Oh, so you have one on their page that you said is the...
How many people were at their camp?
Let's see.
12.
Only 12 people?
Yeah.
So it's like hard to get into.
I would say, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So it was pretty insane to get accepted. I was actually sitting in the doctor's office, and they accepted me because I was getting my tonsils. That's a whole other story.
Is it that exclusive that like a lot of people might have got not accepted?
Yeah. I mean, it's
It's also expensive.
It's also expensive. It's also expensive. And honestly, it is expensive. The pricing to me makes sense. Just the producers they're bringing in, the videographers, and the food, housing everybody.
Experience costs money, though.
Yeah. But I will say,
it's just like paying for a mentor, classes. It's just
yeah. I will say,
Songhouse,
like that camp, absolutely changed my life in multiple different ways.
Yeah. How so?
Music, especially, it helped me build a career that I'm still growing, and then just emotionally, mentally, the people that I like met there, the other campers, are now like my best friends. I work with them constantly. We work on music all the time, but also they're just like people that I can talk to and feel comfortable with in like a week, which is not something that usually happens.
Yeah, to be bonded so fast.
And the age range was the weirdest thing was the age range. Cause like I'm 18, I'm coming in at 18 years old, and there was there's this guy, Dave, he's like 60.
60?
And he's like one of my best friends now.
And he was in the camp?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
it's
like
crazy when you have similar interests, how you really can connect.
And when you just look past like the age difference and like who they are, then they're just like, it's just people. So yeah, Songhouse is definitely, their camps definitely changed my life. And I would vouch for them. Like
enough
100%.
that you're willing to move there and go and do this.
Yeah. And then of course, like it's the campers that I made those connections with, but it was also like the people that were just there. That are a part of Songhouse. Yeah. And we're like working, but it doesn't really feel like working. You're just kind of there making music and enjoying yourself and having fun.
Yeah.
That's good though.
Which is awesome. Yeah. It's a great space to be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, they've done a good job like curating this environment.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. They've done a great job.
It's cool because just could you imagine how much harder your life would be going there from scratch? Just like having to go out as just an individual.
And just trying to make it.
In a place where there's already so many people trying.
Gosh. Yeah. And it's, I mean, even now, like with the connections I have, it's still a super hard challenge to go through, but it's good that I have some kind of leverage.
Yeah.
Smart though, because there's always the next generation coming up. So it's like smart of this company to be doing that. And like, but then cool for you guys too, because now you're connected to that whole group. So if any one of you 12, pops off one day, crazy. Like there's a chance that it could help you somehow. So you never know.
Yeah. I actually had a friend, Keiko. He was on American Idol this last season. Okay. And he's gotten pretty big.
And he's from Songhouse, right?
He's from Songhouse. Yeah. Originally from Songhouse.
Which is really cool.
Yeah. He's gotten pretty big. So it's just a basis to like build.
Yeah, totally.
Which is awesome.
Is that like, are there a lot of these companies out there or in the area that do that kind of thing?
Not what they do.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
I have no clue, honestly.
It's interesting.
I haven't seen another company do exactly what they do.
I would say
you have to really know like the ends. Like I'm just picturing the back end for them. Like they have to just have some really good connections to make that work.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
Cool.
It's awesome. Yeah, you guys should definitely look into it.
So when do you go?
Company.
Officially.
The 9th.
The 9th.
Really soon. Okay.
Month. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And we're driving.
To Nashville.
Oh my God.
Have you lined up a job yet? Are you going to work right away?
I have not lined up a job. I'm going to work right away with whatever job I can get. I've got I'm
What's your background other than music?
Yeah. Blackfoot Theater, managed there for a year or two. And then
some
Costa
management
Vida.
skills.
Yeah, Costa Vida. I've been a manager there for 2 years. Yeah. So I have a.
You're not afraid of hard work.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
You'll make it.
Yeah. I'll be all right.
There's gonna be a Chipotle there that he's gonna.
There's gonna be a Chipotle there. And that's the thing too, is like I really don't care what. I mean, I know that I can get like a food service job super easy.
Yeah.
With my
Starbucks
resume. Yeah. The thing is, I just don't care what job I do as long as it pays my bills to be there and to be doing what I love.
Yeah.
So
doesn't like physically drain you too much either.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And mentally.
Yeah.
That was one thing when we started doing video stuff. I like worked at a marketing agency where I was working it a lot. Yeah. And then when I switched to retail, it was nice because it was just like totally different gears.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have a day job to pay the bills. It was just like not what I had to do in my free time.
Check out your brain a little bit.
Yeah. And then you do what you love on your,
So don't go find a job as like a birthday party singer or something where you're just doing that all day.
Yeah, I'll try not to do
You
that.
can start your own business as the one where they used to do like valograms in high school where they would go and sing and they would do, you should do that. And you could sign up their boss and you could sing them a song and sing them happy birthday. It's like Elf.
Birthday grams.
Yeah, it's like Elf.
Yeah.
It's like Elf.
It's a great idea.
I love you. I love you.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. That would be like honestly some really good side money. I'm being really serious.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll
Thinks it'll make you go viral.
You gotta have,
And that could
That's
make you
true.
go viral.
Yeah, that's good
At the
concept.
same time
you gotta
while
have like
working.
8 side hustles.
8 side hustles got you.
Because
DoorDash.
I bet you could get like, I bet you could do like 150 or like $100 or something for someone
easy,
to
yeah.
do like a
I think so.
Valgram deal.
So have you done live concerts?
So many at the
Yeah.
Heart. Let's talk about the Heart. I love the Heart so much.
Yeah, so
I called them when we very first moved here. I called them in the gym.
Oh, really?
Because I was like looking around for
Yeah.
anything music related in like that industry.
Yeah.
And they just told me they were venues. So
yeah,
I don't know what I was expecting, but I was like, wow, that's all
Okay.
this town has was those two.
I actually am the main sound engineer at both, and so that's funny. But yeah, I actually think there's a third one that just opened up
Really?
that I'm gonna go look and see if
And I don't even know if the gem is like what the Heart is. I don't.
They're completely different things.
Are they?
Yeah, and so I mean,
Yeah.
I'm involved in both. I've been the main sound engineer at the gem for like a year, probably. I don't know.
It's a tough job. Like live sound engineering.
Yeah,
It's stressful.
it is very
It's
stressful.
stressful.
It's not my goal to be in live sound forever. It is just a good way to make money right now. With the
Yeah.
skill set that I have. But yeah, I work there and at the Heart, and so I think the only place he really performed is at the Heart, like in terms of venues.
Yeah.
But
Like a real show? Yeah.
And
I mean,
so-
I've
With like 200 people, like what
we
you were
probably
saying?
had a show with like 120
Yeah.
people.
I performed. The only other place is Graduation.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess we did that too.
Yeah.
He performed for like the big arena, which I also work at. I work at the Mountain
Which
America
was
Center.
that was a cool
Oh,
experience.
nice.
I work at pretty much every
You're,
venue.
the sound, you're just the sound guy.
I am the sound
Yeah.
guy for this town. So
You're so funny.
it's funny. I don't know how it happened. I just applied. Well, I guess I was at the Heart, and the Heart was doing some stuff at the gym, and then
You're just like, hey.
they liked me enough. They were like, "Hey, can you come to be the main sound engineer?" I was like, "Yeah." And
Great.
so
Anything tech, tech stuff is so hard to find a good person. So if you come by a good one, like
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
people are gonna hold on to that.
yeah. The gym does not want to let me go. I mean, I plan on moving eventually, but he's like, "No, you can't go yet."
It's really hard to find.
He's
It really
because
is.
he's gone through sound guys, and he just feels like, I mean, I don't know what I feel like. I've been going to more concerts recently that I don't do the sound for.
Yeah.
And so I start to understand a little bit. Like I've been going to some local stuff in like Rexburg and
That's true. You need to go to the other
yeah, I have
places
to go
and
see
what's
what
happening.
where the bar is.
Yeah.
And I start to realize like it's like my bar for myself and what I expect of quality is a lot higher than what other people expect.
And he hits it.
And so that's why
He's good.
That's why I get lots of comments. This is the best sound I've ever had. This is the best, blah, 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 like over and over and over again. And it's always been like confusing, like imposter syndrome. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing that is
Right.
so different than everyone else? And I just realized, like, I talked about this with a lot of people. I genuinely care about music, and I like am communicative and like am personable with people as well as like there's like a stigma about sound guys, a stereotype of them being old grumpy dudes with long hair and a ponytail. Like that's the stereotype.
Got to start growing your hair out.
Yeah, no. I show up and I'm happy. I play I play the same playlist every time. It's like this neo soul playlist, and I just have a good vibe. And I just talk to them and I ask like, what do you need exactly? And I think that's a lot different than a lot of other sound engineers, especially some of the ones I've met. I mean, no shade at all, but everyone's so different, and people have different approaches to things. And I just try to be really, really personable with people, and that's kind of the main thing that I've noticed.
Yeah.
As well as I have a good ear for mixes and balance and what needs to be. And I explain to people like, hey, I think if you did this in your musical, like in your literal musical arrangement, because I'm also a producer,
Yeah, you have some ideas here.
I have a unique skill set where I can say, hey, your rhythm guitar and your bass guitar are clashing way too much. You guys need to one of you need to switch octaves so that we can hear just a little bit more clarity in everyone's sound. And so I give advice like that, and I feel like, as well as I just have a good skill set for mixing. And so the other day I did a concert for a pretty big band. They're called Hawthorne Heights. They're like an emo band. They were big like 20 years ago probably.
Okay.
But they were doing like their 20th anniversary for their like first album tour. And the gym was like completely packed out, like oversold. Like there was way
That's
too many
cool.
people there.
Yeah.
But the tour manager came up to me after and they're like, dude, this is the best mix we've ever had on tour. Like,
That's
this is the
awesome.
best. And he handed me a card and he said, if you want to go on tour, call me.
Nice.
And I was like, whoa, it's just like, I don't want to go on tour at all, but it was kind of crazy and like really cool to see that
It's an exciting moment.
the
to
level
see
that I'm mixing
yeah.
at is that professional. And so,
Yeah.
I work really hard in trying to get there. So I do pretty much all the live concerts in IF
Yeah.
right now.
And
For-
I think,
cool.
at least for like local music. There's definitely, I don't do any of the big stuff, but
and I think,
Yet.
I think,
I don't know if I want to.
I think getting that validation was something that like, it's a huge step in a career, I think, is validation.
Totally.
Just, getting validation like that I got when I got accepted to that camp and like went and then worked with people and they're like, oh, you're good. And I'm like, I am? Really? And they're like, yeah, it's this crazy thing. It's the imposter syndrome.
Do you
man.
think if that wouldn't have happened with that reel, that you would have been like as motivated to go forward with it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or it just would have been a different path?
Maybe it would have just been a hobby. And I think about that a lot. Like I definitely have the passion for music and I don't want it to become my hobby. I want it to be my job.
yeah.
But I was also kind of in a place where I was like, okay, my music, I'd been releasing music for like a year. I was like, it's not doing amazing. I'm still in high school. We're just going to see where this goes. But then that hit and it totally just changed my perspective on everything.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I definitely want to talk about the Heart more. They are like awesome. I mean, my first ever validation was from them. So
Yeah,
Do
really,
you guys bring in people from out of town?
sometimes, because we're a venue, we've had several different eras of booking, I'd say. And so I've kind of been through all of them. And, there's some times where we're always focused on local music, but there's other times where we're like really, really focused on local music. I think right now we found a good medium where we have touring acts coming through, smaller touring acts, and as well as having, really good lineups for our local bands. We had a period of time like last year, I'd say, where we were doing shows like every single week, but it was like
It gets draining.
5 people, 10
At each
people.
night.
Yeah, and so it was
Yeah.
like, okay. And so we this at the beginning of the year, we kind of did a shift in how everything was kind of being done. And since then, we've had, I think, every show be profitable pretty much,
Good.
which is like crazy as a small business,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
because we
And
opened.
with like live music. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the funny part. The Heart opened in March of 2020. And so
Right in time.
yeah, it was great. It was like March 3rd they opened and then
Perfect.
a
You
week
shut
later.
down the 13th.
Yep. Everything shut down. And so, the fact that the Heart is still alive through everything
True.
is a miracle. And there was almost no COVID relief funding given to us because we had started in 2020. And so the fact that we're just still open, there's been a couple times where it's like, yeah, we might have to be done, but it's thanks to the community and like the musicians and everybody that supports us, we've been able to continue going through it. And we're looking to expand right now, and we're actually looking at new spots for
Bigger
a big
venue.
That's exciting.
That's
there's
awesome.
there's a couple spots that don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
and
But that would be a cool thing.
yeah, our fingers are crossed for some new
Especially
stuff.
after a rough start,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting after a rough start to already be like, okay, let's go bigger.
Yeah. It's awesome. The music community around here, people think that there isn't one, I'd say, but
There's definitely.
There is one.
there's one, and it's
Yeah.
grown stronger over the past couple of years. And there's a lot of metal bands, a lot of high school like indie rock, alternative rock bands that are doing lots of cool things. There's some really talented musicians, and it's really cool because I've also seen a lot of them be like him kind of just be like 14 years old, and now they're growing up and they're in different bands and they're switching all the time. But there's a lot of music, and so over the past 2 years, I've probably worked with like 50 or so clients, and
wow.
so there's a lot of people doing music in
Yeah.
IF, and it's really cool to see that and be a part of that too. I really like. When I saw you guys doing the concerts, I was like, oh my god.
Someone else.
I want to be
Cool.
a part of
Someone
this.
else.
That's so cool.
Someone else.
I was like, I want to be a part of this so bad. I was
Yeah.
like, because we've always talked about the heart, like, oh, we want to do like a tiny desk thing, you know, we want to do that. And it's like,
it's awesome, man.
We don't have we don't have the cameras or like the video people. We've got a couple people that we've worked with in the past that do video, but nothing in-house like we have for audio. And like, you know, I just saw that and I was like, dude, I want to be a part of it. This is so cool.
Well, once we were moving.
We put it on pause because of the move and everything.
Yeah, we're moving, and then we're gonna be doing it in our like big garage space.
Awesome.
So, like starting over, so it's like a literal like garage.
Yeah.
And then
so I'll get your card because I'll be needing your help.
We'll need a new sound engineer.
I've done stuff for like commercials and things like that before, but before we started the concerts, I like did my basic research. I actually, Tiny Desk posts like how they set up their mics, so I watched their videos, bought the closest mics I could to what they had, and they have really nice stuff now.
Yeah,
but
they use those Sennheisers. Yeah,
they got some nice stuff. I bought like a Shure 57 and a 58, and it works. I got a couple like different little cardioid mics for above the drums, and see that's why I need you.
I would love to help.
We got enough basic sound, but it was crazy. Like recording something like commercial audio was like easy, you know, just one voice, basic. But like recording instruments with line outs and like it wasn't so much, I guess, the recording part. It was the mixing. Yeah, that was really hard. The mixing. Because like I had each individual clean sound. I was like, this is great. And then you put them all together and it's just like just like so much, and like it's tough. It was way harder than I thought it was.
I would absolutely love to help with the project.
We'll reach out to you.
I would love to get some of my clients as well involved with it, just because there's a lot of musicians and
there's a lot of great artists.
I mean, I saw it because I work with Seth with Kid Finesse.
Right.
And so
his was awesome. He did so good.
Yeah, that's where I saw it too.
We forced him to freestyle too.
I saw it,
and he did great because that's a lot of pressure.
Well, he did it one first, and then we weren't recording it, and that one was really good.
Yeah,
and
in
then
his defense, he had a way better one we didn't get.
And then that one we recorded.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
but
for sure, we'll link up because it's definitely something we just want to. Yeah, we started it because we just like doing music videos when we first started, and we were like, let's just make them come to us a little bit because we can't find them in this town.
Yeah.
Hopefully it just keeps happening.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know how to do the video stuff. I know, and so I would love to work together to make that happen. So.
We'll talk.
Partnership there.
So, what advice would you give to anybody looking to chase their dreams in this type of? Well, I guess chase their dreams in anything.
Yeah. Pursue that.
Not even music.
I think just do it, man. Like just put all in. And like, if you really want to do this, if you're really passionate, and I think that's the first step, is making sure that this is what you're passionate about and this is what you want to do, and just go all in. I think one of the biggest things that I've learned is like, if you want to make things happen, then you have to go in and actually make it happen. You can't wait for it to come to you. Yeah. So, I mean, and that's like applying to some random camp that you see online that you're not even sure you're going to get into. Do it anyways, because you have no clue what's going to happen. Yeah. And then just go through like all your like contacts and stuff and see who you know that's in the business and the connections that you can have, and just make phone calls and put yourself out there. Yeah. Because that's probably the first step, and it's definitely the biggest.
Yeah. No, I think that's actually really great advice.
Mm-hmm. It's like that simple kind of cliche advice a little bit, because a lot of people say it, but it's like it hits different when you. Yeah. It really. Yeah.
Half of it, I feel like 60%, 70% of this is just talking to people and knowing how to talk to them and being likable and being kind. I mean, that's seriously, being kind goes so far. There's so many people that are rude. And when you show up and you have a smile on your face and you're excited and you're passionate about what you're doing, people like that and they take it serious. And, you know, if you got the skills to back it, it helps even more. At least in my experience, that's what I've noticed. I mean, like I said, I took time to grow my skill set, and then I went out and I kind of started talking to people and interacting, and then people started taking me serious. And so I would say, if I were to give advice, I mean, make a plan and be flexible, but have a plan and have goals. Yeah. And achieve those goals. I mean, just like to do it. Like it's stupid to say, but it's like you've got to just kind of sometimes just put your nose down and do the work and get there. So
yeah. No, I love that. That's great advice.
Yeah, I agree. I think it sounds too simple, but like once you're in a place where you had to like do that and like really take that initiative, it hits different. And
and it makes a lot more sense.
You're like, I get it.
Yeah, you hear these big artists talk about it, and you're like, oh man, they're saying that, but they just got lucky and they just had opportunities. But
No, it is crazy. Like like one time, I mean, he's old school now, but Shwazy, when we were in Hawaii, I shot a music video for him, and it was all just because I messaged a friend who was on stage opening for him, and I was like, can you get me his number? And
well, you ended up going and recording on stage for his concert.
But yeah, I mean, technically he didn't hire me. I just like stand on the side recording and sent him the footage that night, and he was like, this is cool, come out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it was just like, if I didn't take that moment to just send it, where I was like, is this stupid?
He's like hurrying to edit it, and he's like, no, I don't want to do it.
And then I just sent it to him. I was like, whatever. And then sure enough, it's like, come out the next day, and got me a job. And it was just like, this is cool. It's cool. It opens your eyes once you do it once, and you like have a result.
Just shoot your shot.
Yeah. Shoot your shot.
That's all it is. Don't be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed.
It's like that quote where it's like, they're not paying your bills, or whoever's not paying your bills. So it's like, who cares what they're saying about you? Like, you do your own thing.
Yeah.
Hustle, get it done.
Yeah.
Pay your own bills.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's enough of that rant.
That's enough of that.
It was cool hearing your guys' story.
Yeah.
Stories.
Yeah.
So you'll be here, Jovi. You're leaving to Nashville. You'll be back, I'm sure. But
sadly, I'll definitely be
in
back.
and out. But yeah.
So where can people follow you to keep up with you while you're gone in Nashville?
My Instagram is Cole Fryar 101.
Okay.
Fryar spelled F-R-Y-A-R. Which is interesting.
Fryer.
And then it's 101, and that's for Instagram, TikTok.
Okay.
That's mostly what I post on. I usually don't go to any other ones, but
It's like Zoe 101.
Yeah, I was about to.
Cole Fryar 101.
I was like, I'm not gonna say it.
Is that yours?
Are you out of that generation?
Yeah.
Zoe 101.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out of that too.
out of-
I don't even know what that is.
I don't even know why.
I don't even know what
Yeah.
Lizzie
that is.
McGuire?
What are you talking about?
I don't know what I barely know what it means. I know you can take like the
it's
101
show.
classes.
No, it's
What?
We don't need to date ourselves. It's okay. Yeah.
Zoe 101's like a
It's a TV
show
show.
from like
Oh,
Nickelodeon.
It's just like a Disney Channel
I
or
don't even-
something.
I don't even know.
It's
Yeah.
like the generation before.
I'm just
Drake and
lost,
Josh
I guess.
and
It's
iCarly.
okay. You don't have to go watch it.
Yeah, it was like almost in sync with Drake and Josh.
Well, I watched Drake and Josh. Of
Okay,
course
maybe
I
it was
watched
a little
Drake and
after
Josh.
Drake and
It was
Josh.
probably a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Well,
Yeah. It's not that interesting.
It's not that great. Dramas. Okay, Jovi.
Yeah.
Where can people
Jovi.
look you up?
Yeah, I've got 2 Instagrams. I've got one for like my personal and like producer persona online. It's Jovster, G-I-O-V-S-T-E-R-R.
Jovster.
Yeah,
Jovster.
Just
Okay.
nickname as I grew up.
Okay.
And then my like, if you want to get in contact with me for like studio recording and mixing and mastering, whatever, anything like that, it's Jovi's Garden. That's the name of my business. And it's GIOVISGARDN. Yeah, Garden. So.
Garden.
You can follow me on Instagram for that.
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on our podcast.
thank you
It
for
was
having
great
us.
meeting you guys.
Can I shout out my Spotify real quick?
Yeah, of course.
No. Ended.
Cut it out.
Don't.
Yeah, you can find me on any streaming platform. Cole Fryar. Just Cole Fryar. F-R-Y-A-R.
Do you have YouTube videos, or is it mainly like?
I do have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just Cole Fryar on there as well.
Okay.
On your OnlyFans title,
Oh my God! Don't say that. His mom's like, cut that out.
we'll take it out.
You're fine. Not
Okay.
yet. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll see how Nashville goes. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
If you made it this far, please subscribe to our channel. It means so much to us. Keep an eye out for our new studio.
Yeah,
By
new
the
studio.
time this comes out, it should be like
Like a week away.
hopefully, if everything goes to plan, a week away.
Yep.
So, think crush
More
fingers
garage
for
door
us.
concerts to come.
Yeah,
Yeah, and podcast.
and podcasts.
Okay.
A whole new setup. Okay,
That's
bye.
it. Bye.